Stop selling to cheap people. If you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, if you're in sales, if you have a product or service that you sell, stop selling to cheap people. Okay. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why you should never deal with customers who want to lower your price. Now, just to give you context, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. I've been doing sales for over 30 years. And I can tell you from my own experience that whenever you deal with someone that wants to lower your price, that someone that wants to haggle over your price, this is a warning sign. This is a red flag if I ever seen one. These type of people consistently are the ones that are going to complain, have issues, and be a pain in the neck. Now, many of us, when we first get into business or when we first get into sales, when we first get into a job that requires us to sell, oftentimes we need the money, right? We need the check. And I completely understand that and I completely respect it. However, sometimes you think that, oh, well, if I just sell this to this person, if I just lower my price and take a little bit smaller margin, that this will be a blessing. And listen, if you need the money, it might be. But I can tell you that many times these are the worst type of clients that you want to have. And I'm going to break this down from a comprehensive way, right? Because it's not about lowering your price. It's about this. Oscar Wilde said, the cynic knows the price of everything, but the value of nothing. Okay, so this is really a conversation about price versus value. And oftentimes people who are fixated on price simply don't understand the value of what you offer. Now, that may be because you haven't established the value. That might be because they don't see the value. You haven't done a good enough job of really uncovering why this is something that they may need. But oftentimes it's simply because they don't value what you're offering, and that's why they want to lower your price. Let me put it to you this way. Suppose that I said to you, hey, give me $10 and I'm going to give you back $1,000, right? Most people with a brain would take that in a heartbeat. So a lot of times when someone wants to lower your price, it's not because your price too high, it's just because they don't see the value. Perhaps you haven't done a good enough job of uncovering the value of what you have to offer, or whatever the case may be. But for some reason, they don't see the value, okay? And so because of that, these what my mentor calls these freeple people that always want stuff for free, always want cheaper stuff, I'm telling you, they always come with headaches that are sometimes, the juice is not always worth the squeeze. So you ask yourself, okay, well, what do I do? Let's say that I need this sale. Let's say that I'm new in business. And let's say I got to pay my rent. Listen, if you're in a desperate situation, sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures, right? So I'm not here to judge anybody or cast, any aspersion, whatever, what you should do, right? But what I'm saying is this. This is what you should do if you don't want to lower your price, right? This is what you do. So number one thing that you can do is that you can kind of like go over the features of what you have to offer, right? So let's say that you offer them, I don't know, a coaching program, or let's say that you're offering them a physical product, right? And so one thing that you can do is you can say, okay, well, listen, I completely get it. Sometimes, budget is a concern. So let me tell you what I can do. All right. One thing that you can do is that you can either try to split it up into some type of payment if that's possible, right? I don't recommend that you lower your price, but I do recommend that you perhaps offer a payment structure. Well, say, listen, I get it. This is a serious investment, right? If I was able to break this up for you into, let's say, two payments, would that allow you to move forward today, right? So that's one thing that you can do. Okay. Another thing that you can do before you even try to offer any type of solution is really dissect if they actually want this, if there's something behind it that they're not telling you. And just say, well, listen, let me ask you this. If price was not a factor, right? Like if price was no factor, would you still want to move forward, or is this not really for you? And so you've given them an out. You can give them an out and they can be like, yeah, you know what? I got the money. Price is not the issue. It's just not for me, right? And we can part as friends, okay? Because if it's not for them, you're not helping them, by selling them this. You're better off taking that feedback, finding out what would have to be different for them to buy, and then using that feedback to maybe improve your product, improve your offer, improve your service, so that when you make your offer to the next person, now you're better positioned, right? So you can use it for intel, you can use it for market research. But if they're like, no, 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 I am interested in it, it's just that the price is too high. This is how you deal with it, okay? What you would say to them, well, listen, Mr. Prospect, right now my price is this, and it includes this, and that, right? Now, what I can do is let me know which one of these features or items you would like me to take out, and then we can see what we can do to lower the price. This way, you're telling them, like, hey, you want to lower the price? No problem. I'm going to lower the value, right? And oftentimes they'll be like, well, no, I don't want to take anything out of it, right? I don't want to, right? So they want the whole thing, but they don't want to pay for it, okay? And so in that case, you can say, well, listen, again, now you can go to a payment plan. Now you can try to make something they can absorb. But I promise you that once you start lowering your price, you're going to start inviting problems that you cannot foresee. Okay. And so I just want to leave you with that, because I know a lot of, people in sales, especially when they're new to sales or when they're new to entrepreneurship, or maybe you used to be a barber for a barber shop and now you start your own place, and people's like, oh man, like, why would I pay, $50 for a cut? It is what it is, right? And I'll tell you this last thing. I used to do a coaching program, right? And my coaching program really wasn't that expensive, okay? And because of that, I had a lot of clients that were headaches, like straight up headaches, right? And so this is what my mentor told me. He said, double your price. What? He said, double your price. I said, but if I double my price, like, people are gonna leave. He said, what's the worst that can happen? You think maybe half of them will leave? I'm like, yeah, probably half of them will leave. And he goes, and then what? And I was like, well, if I double my price and half the people leave, now I'm making the same amount of money and doing less work. I have half the clients, but I have the same income. And so I took his advice. Now, let me tell you this, more than half of my clients left. Okay. More than half of my clients left. But the ones that stayed, you know what they told me? Bro, I'm not even mad at you, because I couldn't believe that you was doing all of this for this price. And now that I had this new price, these same people who I just doubled the price on started referring other clients. Okay. And guess what? Those new clients came in, paid the price happily, and never gave me headaches and got results. So I'm telling you, if you want to improve your experience in sales as a business person, if you sell a product or service, never lower your price. Those are not the type of clients that you want. It's okay to tell people, listen, if this is not in your budget right now, I understand. Maybe we can circle back when it's a better time, because you have more to lose oftentimes than you do by just lowering your value. So I hope this message bless you. I hope if you know someone that's in sales, who's an entrepreneur, who's a business person, that whether they sell a product or service, I encourage you to share this with them. This might be something that helps them in their business. God bless you guys. Peace.